I just want to say that at my core, the struggle has always been balancing extreme doubt that I've always had in my life since I could remember, and dealing with discomfort at the same time, and still pushing forward and reaching for what I believe to be self-actualization, my goals, what I want to see myself achieve and accomplish in my life. Find parallels and experiences and things that kind of repeat patterns when it comes to dealing with discomfort, dealing with things that are unfamiliar, and dealing with doubt. So one of the most important lessons that I can say I always keep bookmarked in the back of my mind is leaning in to the discomfort and sitting with the doubt when you are on the path that you have set for yourself. What do I mean by that? You have in every stage of your life, in the present moment, you are orienting yourself in a direction. You're choosing a direction in your mind to orient yourself towards. If you have an objective or a goal in mind, you are going to set yourself on a path. Different actions, behaviors, and tasks that are necessary to achieve a certain goal, a person you want to become, whatever it is in life, right? There's always an end. And on the way to getting to that end, you are presented in different environments and circumstances, and you have different tasks, right? Or maybe you have to act out different behaviors, right? You have to act a certain way. And so what I'm trying to get at is you're going to face discomfort on that path. And I can just kind of use my life as an example. Since I was little, I'd love to go on stage and be in front of people and perform. And it was acting at first and dancing. And then I went to modeling and now public speaking. But the point is, I always had these visions. I would love to do this. And then you have to think to yourself, okay, we have to sketch this out. You know, if you want to act, you need to take this class. You need to go act in front of people. And you need to get an acting coach. You need to act with other people. You need to be comfortable standing on stage alone, dealing with the judgment of other people on you. And so this discomfort is inevitable when you are going throughout life, moving to another place, right? I've arrived at the inevitability of this lesson. You will learn it in life, or you will see it for yourself in life. And I think for me, what means so much to me, what weighs so heavily on me, is seeing myself where I imagine myself, and the end being to express the truest version of myself and my full potential. And so, starting from an early age, and I remember when actually right before I went to high school, there was like an open house, I think, and they bought up the Ivy League schools and Columbia. I didn't know about it until then. I was like 14, I think, or 15 at the time, 14. And I thought, wow, I would love to go to Columbia. And bringing up that example because I had that goal in mind. But there was so much that came with that. Okay, being on top of my academics, pushing myself, taking, harder, more advanced math courses, AP courses, constantly feeling I can't do this. I don't think I'm capable of balancing extracurriculars and doing well at school, looking around at other people and seeing maybe if different topics or concepts come more easily to other people. And all of my life has been a push of, I want to achieve this, but there's like a battle, right? Constantly, if you have that goal, I want to do well in school, I want to get into a good school, the tasks, the road to get there is discomfort, is doubt. And now that I'm 25 and I have in many ways, I've been from point A, conceptualizing what I want and achieving some of those things, not all of them, but some of them. And kind of going back through the pages and saying, wow, that was so much discomfort. I didn't know how I was going to get through it. But I think, how did I handle that? And it's such an important lesson because that will always be present in your life. when I had the opportunity to begin modeling, I was 13 years old and I was very invested in academics as well. So it was quite hard to juggle the both, to really want to excel academically, but also I really was passionate about this opportunity that was very new to me. And again, like I said, I am very artistically inclined, so this was something that excited me, and I was kind of thinking about different opportunities that could arise from this, right? And even that, just modeling, I was one of the shy, I mean, still innately, I feel like I am a very shy person, but I'm telling you when I tell you, innately, I'm pretty reserved and very shy. So when I think about that 4-year-old Krista, it's crazy when I think about it. Constant, like, putting myself out there, discomfort, time after time after time. And even though exposure therapy helps, it's one thing I've noticed is it doesn't go away. It really doesn't. And I think that it's important to state that, because we have to remind ourselves that it's always going to be a part of life. So we can't seek a path that avoids this, because we won't grow. That's just it at the end of the day. And we have to realize we are in the pursuit of growing. So doubt and discomfort, we need to know how to deal with it. I just think that I'm very passionate about seeing people fulfill their potential, what they envision themselves to be. Because I know how much that means to me. You know, you think about life, and life is short and it passes, and we learn lessons and we take them and we make the best of what's next. And so that's why I wanted to share this with all of you today, because there have been many pivotal moments in my life where it's just so mind-boggling to think about my past, where I imagine, what if I got into an Ivy League? What if I went to Columbia? What if I modeled? What if I lived in New York? And then also the community that I had built in New York when I didn't even know anybody when I got there, and the discomfort that I felt moving to New York and knowing nobody, and going to Columbia not knowing anybody there either, and the discomfort that I felt being in a highly rigorous academic environment, feeling a lot of pressure. And also at the time I had been modeling for 3 years because I graduated early from high school and then took 2 gap years after that. And I remember just the doubt of, oh my goodness, I have to take Calculus 3. And I have not taken a calculus class since AP Calculus, right? And I don't know if I can perform well academically at Columbia. And I just think about how I was able to thrive, not just survive, but thrive at Columbia and immerse myself in the community and give back. And I'm just thinking about the person who started there. And my point to all of this is, to everybody, is you have it in you. You don't need to do perfectly. You just need to gracefully get through periods of doubt and discomfort. Just push yourself, like, one thing at a time. And I remember, this might sound like a tangent, but I remember just even moments, I always push myself to even ask questions in class. Part of me would think, I don't really want to ask this question, but part of me said, we're asking the question. And that became a habit. I always would ask questions, even at Columbia. I didn't really think about it even when I had first started, even on the first day of school, because I had done this in high school as well. And I just think little acts like this, where you feel the doubt, I don't know if I should, do this or say this, but something in you is saying, I want to raise my hand, or, I want to join this organization, or I want to be a part of this team, or I want to try something new. You got to know how to deal with the doubt and discomfort. That doesn't mean that I always push through. I think many times I take a step back. The doubt feels very strong, but just keep that in mind, because I'm just telling you, a lot of the achievements and accomplishments and that I have as of today, and a lot of the ways in which I've grown, I would not have if I did not accept periods of discomfort.